fire. It's on the... Ah! He made it! Oh my...
It's a beautiful Friday afternoon here. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon here at Huntington University. And inside Platt Arena, 2 of 2 today has the Huntington University Foresters receiving votes in the NAIA Top 25. Just outside of it, take on their 2nd of 2 today as the IU Northwest Redhawks come in to take on the Foresters. Joe Northern, Ryan Holzapfel, delighted to have you with us. It's a great time to be a Forester as it stands. 17 wins. It's the most wins they've had since 2010, and 13 home wins, which if you look at combined the last 2 seasons, quite simply, it is the combined 2 seasons. They've already matched that as it stands right now, Mr. Holzapfel.
Yeah, absolutely. This team is having a historic season for this group. I mean, they really haven't had a solid year of volleyball in quite a while. So it's refreshing to see this team rejuvenated. They're playing really well. I mean, they just beat a lot of really tough conference opponents. Like you said, receiving votes, something that a lot of people maybe didn't even think would happen at the beginning of the year. So they're really good this year.
Absolutely. They're currently on a 5-game winning streak, which goes all the way back to Monday, September 22nd, with a 3-1 win over Manchester, and then rattling off wins over Goshen, Gray, Spring Arbor, the Spring Arbor 5-set thriller on Wednesday night, and then winners earlier today where it felt like a 5-set thriller with a nonstop scoring in advantage of Olivet Nazarene. So really, when you play back-to-back, you kind of have to feel like, okay, do you put your foot off the brakes a little bit? Do you change your game plan? What do you see this Huntington team doing?
I think they just continue to put pedal to the metal in this match. You know, they just came off of a riveting set 3 win against Olivet Nazarene. I mean, it literally ended up 35-33. So, you know, they really had to dig deep to win that set, win it 3-0. They're just going to continue to put pressure on this team. I mean, Indiana Northwest, I believe it's Northwest, are there. I mean, you cannot take any team lightly. I always talk about trap games against non-conference opponents. That's what they are. You take your foot off the gas, they will get you if you allow them to. So the Foresters just need to push hard and try to end this game as quick as possible.
Key leaders for IU Northwest as we take a look in standings. One player to keep an eye on, Renea Preston, coming in with 145 kills and 291 assists, and continuing leading the attack on digs as well. But also, too, you have Gabby Livovich with 141 kills. Lindsey Kruger is going to be a key attacker for the Redhawks of IU University Northwest. They come in at 8-13 out of the Chicagoland Conference, but again, a lot of key components up front that really make things interesting for Coach Anvora Alvalos and company.
Yeah, absolutely. And Preston is a big part in what they do. She is kind of the all-rounder for this Indiana Northwest team. She's in the top 5 of every single stat category and leading of the season, including leading 2 of them. So she is a very good player. That is going to be the key of the game, trying to keep her from having an impact on this game. Because if you keep her from having an impact, you will likely win 3-0.
Meanwhile, taking a look at the Foresters and the win just over a little while ago against Olivet Nazarene. Taking a look at the kill count again. No surprise, Trevin Terry, Mason Robach, Terry and Robach just continuing to lead the way with 10 kills apiece. Do you see that kind of continuing to stay in form, or do you think you might see another Huntington leader really try to light it up?
I see Haley Cruz. I mean, like you said, Mason Robach, Trevin Terry, those girls will always get their kills. I mean, they're very good at attacking the net. They're very consistent with it. But the leader on the season is Haley Cruz, and she has 222 kills on the season, and is beating Maggie Holland, who's number 2, by 40. So Haley Cruz is the main attack girl for this Huntington squad. And I mean, and that's really why they're so good. They have so many different attackers.
As we take a look at the starting rotations currently on the floor for Huntington, you have Maggie Holland. She's going to be wearing number 3 today instead of number 21. Kennedy Urban, the libero, wearing number 4. Number 11, the libero, I beg your pardon, Layla Meyer. Number 7, Haley Cruz, as we mentioned. Number 12, Mason Robrock. Number 20, Leah Carter. all leading the way for Coach Kelsey Herbert and company. Meanwhile, for IU Northwest, starting rotations look a little bit like this. Lindsey Kruger wearing number 4 for the Redhawks. Bailey Oborski wearing number 6. Eva Everett wearing number 7, the libero. Gabby Leibovich wearing number 9. Rihanna Preston again to keep an eye on the freshman from Sauk Village wearing number 15. Keelan Murphy wearing number 23. And Linzer wearing number 27. Glad you're with us here on a Friday afternoon. And a big block up front from Murphy gets this one started.
And that is how Indiana Northwest wants to come out this, Huntington just got out of a match. So they're trying to push them, they're trying to pressure their defense and tire them out here.
Served across from Preston. Gets a low one up front, now gets down to Carter. Carter lobbed back inside, looks over again to Preston, down and in. And a big gap found by Lindsey Kruger as we take a look at that again. Able to find that open back row real estate, something that, again, you cannot leave open in any stretch. Preston again continuing to lead the charge. Gets this one low and forward. Back over to Meyer. High tip again over to Holland. Still lobbed up. At the top over to Lilovich. Now again over to Holland. Tip inside, finds Robrock. Commanded up front and in. As the Redhawks, again, Gabby Leibovich going to get the point on the board for that one. It's just really the Redhawks have done a great job of commanding that front line, and Huntington just struggling with that at first.
Yeah, they have the effort right now. Huntington needs to pick it up here. You can tell they're a little sluggish.
Preston again continuing the run. Her 4th serve, already 3 points on the board. Dug up by Everett. Now another chance lobbed across. Gets it over to Kruger. Kruger again. Sets over to Meyer. Meyer again. High tip. A big swing to the back row. Kruger could not get a hand on it. So that stops the scoring drought for the moment. So exactly what the Foresters needed, and really trying to force to that back upper corner to make it now a 3-1 affair. As we see number 5, Olivia Cron, the Fort Wayne native, ready to bring it across. Cron gets it over. Chance again, now finds Murphy. Murphy again, lobbed up opposite side. Connecting over to Cruz. Cruz blocked again up front by Obrowski. And high tipped inside, coming for the hands of Ross. Carter and Ross both gonna get credit for the swing up front. Make it a 3-2 affair. Olivia Cron now. Gets it back row, connects over to Preston. Preston into the net. And Huntington getting a nice 3-0 run. So we're now even at 3. As you can see, a swing not high enough for Bailey Obrowski. So Huntington trying to continue a run of their own. Cron gets it into the net. And we're back at a 4-3 affair. Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off there, partner, but you might see some fatigue start to play a role here for Huntington. I mean, this Northwest team, they look fresh, they look ready to go. Meanwhile, the Foresters, like I said earlier, a little bit sluggish out there. We'll see if fatigue plays a factor here.
Abby Allen brings this one across. And this one sails over and out of play. So yes, you could see, again, a little bit of that fatigue, and really, again, the 30-minute, at least minimum warm-up period that you do see in volleyball matches. But also, too, this is really kind of what, many teams are used to with those weekend tournaments, playing 2, sometimes 3 matches in a given day. Here's a swing down and in, and tipped over for Leah Carter to answer it back. And she'll get her 2nd block of the afternoon. Make it a 5-4 game. So we take a look at that again one more time. Again, Carter just able to find the angle and dunk it down. It's Layla Meyer now ready to bring it across. Meyer, back row she goes, over to Everett. Now another light tip inside. What a great dig save again from Meyer. Another block up front coming from Obrowski. Here's another swing. This one is going to go out of play.
Wow.
Very well placed for the Huntington native in Mason Robrock.
And that is all Layla Meyer there, doing what she does best. She is the defensive specialist of this Forester squad and stands up for her team there and gets them the point.
So we're even at 5 here in the first. Another swing, tip, out of play.
Nearly hit us there for a second.
I mean, it wouldn't have been the first time if that were to happen. But another wide swing going off the hands of Bailey Obrowski. And Huntington with their first lead of the afternoon, 6-5 here in the first. Swing over from Meyer, but into the net. The third in the net call today for the Foresters, and we're even at 6. And again, really what we talk about is just that battle of momentum. You go on a quick 5-0, 6-0 run, can completely change the match on its heads.
Yeah, I mean, volleyball is a game of runs, and Foresters went on a nice one there. Northwest is going to try to answer here.
Here's a swing, a crossover from Everett, the libero. Now down, up, and in. Robrok again answers on the right side. And the Foresters back up by 1. And able to get over 2 of the front blockers for IU Northwest. Kennedy Urban now ready to bring it over. Urban sails it back row, finds Murphy. Another swing tip, received again by Urban. Now another chance. This one brought down by Boyer. Gonna have to pinball it from the back row, and they do. Here's Cruz. Cruz again trying to settle. Lob it upside, off the tweeter. And gonna be back on the board for the Foresters.
And I think the resilience of the Foresters really shows in these plays. I mean, that was a very long play. You see them just slightly miss it, go on the other side of it, which you cannot do in volleyball.
No, you cannot hit the antenna. That is a big no-no. Here's a tip over now from Littner. Littner sets it across, now finds Cruz. Hits it off the top, but a swing wide out of play, 8-6. As again, we're continuing to see really that frontline strategy from IU Northwest really do a great job of trying to shut it down, but the swings continuing to go wide on the side outs. Free ball chance upcoming. Get this over to Urban. High tip in the back, and got it.
Wow.
Terry looks like she might have had a foot out for a second, but able to lob it over as IU Northwest will stop to take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 10-6 Foresters on a 5-0 run.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean, efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
West again trying to rally the troops and regroup as Huntington on a 5-0 run by our count, rattling off 5 in a row against the Redhawks here in this one. And again, just kind of those tales of momentum going on, and really kind of a quiet day for some of the star players as it stands for the Redhawks.
Absolutely. I mean, they really have not gone to Lindsey Kruger too much here. And I mean, when she's leading the way in kills, you think they got to try and get it to her a little bit more.
They haven't been able to get to her much. Only 1 kill on the day. But another swing across for IU Northwest will stop the rally for the moment as we take a look at that again once more.
Lilovic, very good.
Lilovic getting her second block of the second kill of the day. High tip over, got it to go. As Haley Cruz, the Auburn native, answers right back. And again, just a great job of finding that open real estate in the back row.
Yeah, and that's what she does. There's a reason she's the leading killer for the Foresters this season. She is very good at placing the ball where she wants it to go.
High throw coming in from Cruz. And lob it over now to Lilovic. And sit way back to Kruger. They're going to have to go for a free chance, and they do. High swing, nothing was going to stop Trinity Littner up front.
Yeah, absolute power swing there. There's nothing the Foresters could do about that one.
And not only that, but again, you got to give credit to the back row of Huntington for able to find a way to get it over in time. But again, those free chances, if you can make the most of them, that's a game changer.
Yep.
Brought across again by the Redhawks. Back row to Huntington we go. Here's Cruz now. Gets this one lobbed over. Near dunk tip reach from Holland. They say play on. Now back again in Forester territory. Holland gets it down. Got it.
And there's the second leading killing player here for the Foresters. She has the second most kills on the season. And, I mean, she shows it right there. Got up a beautiful feed from Urban.
As Urban gets it back on the board, make it a 4-point game, 12-8, an advantage of your Foresters. Here's Ava Myers, not going to be high enough. And so an opportunity to reset for IU Northwest as they trail by 3 against the Foresters. Again, you do take a look at some of the current scoring leaders for this Huntington squad. Of course, Haley Cruz continuing to lead the way, but not too far behind. You got Maggie Holland, a freshman, mind you, who is, as you can say, you know, Cruz has been the current generation, Holland the next generation for this Forester team. This one swung across from Holland. Now another chance. Dug up by Meyer. Now another swing, able to get it down in front. And the front line attack works this time for the Kokomo native and Leah Carter.
It's such a luxury for the Foresters to have Lauren Ross and Kennedy Urban, 2 amazing setters for their team. I mean, they just get to swap them in and out and have an elite setter at all times on the floor. I mean, that is a huge advantage.
Lauren Ross now to bring it over. Ross again, lobbed up. Gets this back over to Preston. Preston couldn't get the angle. Now another swing coming in from Holland. Tipped again from Preston. Nice save to keep it in play, thanks to Lilovic. Now here comes the Foresters. Blocked again up front from Obrowski.
Every single time they get a block, she's right there at the heart of the defense for Indiana Northwest. They got to find a way to get past her, but I mean, she is looking really good on those blocking attempts.
Obrowski and Murphy have done a great job of at least continuing the front line for the Redhawks in this match so far. But so has number 3 and Maggie Holland getting another swing on the board and to make it again a 4-point affair. And she's done a really good job of kind of finding that right side, or at least her right side. And our right side, I should say, if you're watching this. Left if you're watching at home. Swing across opposite side and right into the arm. Still kept live. That went right into the arm of Ross, but set up by I believe, in Layla Meyer in the interim.
Man, Leah Carter just football kicked that one away.
Hey, I mean, whatever works.
Yeah.
14-11 our score. Redhawks trying to cut in. We get a substitution, and Abby Allen now in the game, wearing number 11. Double block tip up front. Obrowski gets it high and out of play. So another wide swing going to go back on the boards. We take a look at that again. A little close for Obrowski maybe on the tip, but still kept live for the Redhawks and a chance to cut it to 1. Here's Allen. Gets this one lobbed up and not going to be enough. And that's really kind of one of those serves that comes across and you don't have too much time to think. You just got to get it off in one way or another.
Yeah, and then now Northwest is on a run. They've cut it to 1 and trying to possibly tie it and take the lead here.
They're on a 3-0 run here in the first. Dug up by Meyer. Another block, and got it again. Bailey Obrowski answering up front with back-to-back blocks.
Well, it looked like it was both her and Kruger were right there, and that duo has been very good on that blocking front.
So the double block is keeping the run alive for IU Northwest. As this one swung down low, finds Cron. Cron lobs this over, block tipped and in. And the run continuing for the Redhawks.
Foresters just can't get past that blocking line for Northwest. I mean, they are staying solid like a rock right now. Foresters have to find a way to maneuver around those blockers.
Again, Obrowski, tallest component on the team, coming in at the 6-foot middle blocker. And Huntington not having too much of the height to match with it right now, at least on this rotation. Of course, then you do get a little bit more of the height when you get Leah Carter back in, and when you get Robrock and Carter back into the rotation. But this is just, you know, a good rotation for IU Northwest as this one pops out, and Huntington gets the point, 15-15. Here's Meyer. Tip down, saved on the opposite side. Now finds Cruz. Cruz, a dig deep, but not going to be enough as Murphy just pivoted to the right.
And that right there, what she just did, she hits it high and away from their blockers, doesn't allow them the chance to block it, and the Foresters score. They need to find ways to get it over or around the blockers for Northwest, and Haley Cruz does it there.
Here's Meyer again to get it across. Meyer lobs it over. Another block tip up front from Terry. Sets again over to Meyer. Now another swing. Tip still kept live by Cron. Now another chance over to Cruz. Cruz, back row she goes, over to Everett. Now another chance. This one's off the top. Will it stay? It will be ruled off the top and out of play.
Yeah, close one there. Just
yeah, you can see a little rattle of the antenna, but from our vantage point, awfully close to see it sail. But it does give Huntington that insurance point, though, to make it 17-15. Chance again upcoming, finding Preston. That's going to be Bob off the armbar. And a 1-point game, 17-16 here in the first.
Now it's just a beautiful play there by Renaya Preston. I mean, she set her player up beautifully for an easy spike. There's nothing the Foresters could do there.
We've seen a lot of the combination of Preston setting up in the middle and Obrowski doing a great job of taking care of it on the back row. This one swung on and in time. As Robrock able to get the tip and get it to go.
And that's what you do. She saw the two blockers come up, so she hit it to the side instead, where there was no Northwest blocker there to contest it. I mean, that was a great placement shot by Robrock.
Here's Kennedy Irvin now to bring it over. Preston lobs this high, block tipped it in. That is a textbook block that Coach Herber and company have been looking for, thanks to Kaylee Cruz.
She's not usually the one up there blocking either. I mean, and she was solo there and managed to get it. That was impressive play by Cruz.
And the placement, too, just to get it inside the lines, even more so important. Into the net that goes. And the Foresters trying to pull away as they're up by 4. Timeout, IU Northwest. As we will step aside, 4-point game. Huntington trying to go for a set 1 victory. Back in a moment.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Well, you see the Huntington bench seeing a little more confidence coming in from the Huntington bench. I think, again, you take a look at rotations that have been advantageous for the Foresters. It's certainly led up front currently by Cruz and Boyer and Holland continuing to command the front line here in this one.
We'll see if they continue to do that, but Northwest coach obviously talking with his team and trying to figure out a way to counter it.
This one brought over. Saved in time from Kruger. Kruger again, tipped over. Gets it back from the hands of Cruz. Cruz again, chasing. Cruz again, lobbed over. Now back over to Cron. Cron tip, blocked it in. As Trinity Lintner finding another block up front as we take a look at that again one more time. A double-handed to get it down and ready to go. Gabby Leibovich now to bring it over. Leibovich sets this over for Cruz. Gonna have to pinball it and blocked it in. As Terry gets it on the board. And now we're really starting to see this not necessarily be a game about attacks and kills, but more so just blocking power this entire match. It's really been more about the blocks from what I've seen in this one.
Yeah, the defensive intensity has won this game for the Foresters so far. But maybe they need to go into that a little bit more.
Here's a chance upcoming again for Leibovich. That one's going to be a net call. And back on the board for Huntington. So a 5-point game, an advantage of the Foresters. And again, the net, sometimes objects may be closer than what they appear to be. 22-17 our score. This one, a high serve from the hands of Cruz. Brought up by Murphy. Another block up front to Boyer, and she got it to go. So a quad hit going to be called against Preston. And the Foresters are their largest lead of the afternoon so far, 23-17. Here's Cruz. Cruz sails it way back. Gonna be a free chance upcoming. Sets it over to Meyer. Now the high swing from Holland. Holland gets it to go. And again, Holland utilizing the back row to her advantage. As we take a look at that again one more time.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful play by Holland, and Foresters looking like a well-oiled offensive machine here to end this set. Northwest starting to fall behind.
Game point opportunity over to Cruz. Sets this one tipped, back over to Urban. Another swing for Holland. Holland able again to go back row, and back-to-back back row. And again, just getting the great placement from Layla Meyer has certainly made the difference as the Foresters take a late set surge and win the first 25-17. We'll head to set number 2 coming up in just a moment. You're watching FDN Sports exclusive coverage of Huntington Forester Volleyball.
To me, Forester Camps is amazing.
To me, Forester's Camps is cool.
To me, Forester Camps is a great experience. I've always had just like a genuine interest for art, and our art teacher was like passing out flyers and stuff.
And I saw that my other friends were going to do it, so I got interested in as well.
And this is my first college trip, so I didn't really know kind of what it's like to be in college.
College really isn't as scary as I thought it would be. Definitely go. There is a lot of really cool activities and opportunities you can get here.
Try to get yourself involved. Try to talk to other people who are like at the camp as well. Talk to like your hosts and stuff.
I mean, there's no reason not to go. I mean, you get out of school, you get to come here.
It's really informative on how college actually is, and that the community here is really great.
Well, the Foresters with a late set surge in the first, win it 25-17. They lead the match 1-0. Joe Northern, Ryan Holzapfel, delighted to have you with us. Really, the things that I noticed that helped Huntington really kind of pull away, they utilized the back row attacks to really try to shut it away. Could we see more of that in set number 2?
I definitely think so, because throughout, like you said, through most of the set, that was where a lot of their points came from, was getting it past those initial blockers and did that back line. Once they got it to that back area of the northwest side, Northwest had no counter to it. I mean, they could not answer any of those shots. And I also think another key is the Foresters to keep blocking well, as both teams have been blocking really well, but the Foresters had the advantage on that, which is another big reason why they won.
Absolutely. Well, again, it's a set-by-set match, but all about that keyword of momentum, as the Foresters will bring it across. Right to left from our vantage point, left to right for those of you at home. And another block tip swung by Abrosky. Now another chance brought down. High tip again from Robrock. Still settling inside, finds Ross. Ross again. Gets this lobbed over now. And back on the board. So a quick side out. But a tip against Northwest. Well, the Foresters started off strong. Taking a look at current stats in this first set, it's been currently led by Robrock and Holland. 5 kills and 4 kills respectively after a quick swing on the board from Keelan Murphy. But I do take a look again at the blocks assisted and blocks forced. We take a look at that again one more time. With Murphy getting that down. Not too many kills on the board per set. Only 13. Well, actually 13, so you're over 50% in the kill percentage if you're Huntington. They look to try to continue to add on to it, but not going to be high enough as the Redhawks answer back first. Take a look at that again once more.
Yeah, Robrock just missed it a little bit there. I mean, that happens. You're not always going to have a perfect shot every play. So, I mean, the Foresters, you'll live with that. You got to the shot you wanted and you just missed it.
Oh, and a nice swing upside. And kind of like the light tips over too, we should say, with Lauren Ross and Carter both getting a hand on it. Going to be credited for Ross.
She is so good at that. I mean, all of last season when I was announcing games, she was so good at those little tip-over shots. I mean, they're so unpredictable.
Okay, Cron now gets it over. Going to be lobbed back, but it's going to be sailing out of play. And the one-hander from Lilovich will sail it out in a 3-2 affair. Lilovich currently leading the way for the Redhawks in this one. 2 kills. Keelan Murphy also with 2 kills on the board. But in total blocks, it is Zabrowski who is currently leading the way. She's got 4 blocks in the afternoon for IU Northwest, as that one goes into the net. And Huntington getting that early insurance point, 4-2.
Well, and you've seen a lot, as we see here, she just hits it in the net. There has not been much offense for this Indiana Northwest team. Most of their points have come from their defense and their blockers, so we'll see if they can maybe keep going to that as the Foresters, again, with another service error. I think their 3rd of the game already.
That is indeed their 3rd of the game, if not even more so. That is actually going to be their 4th.
Their 4th.
Close, but no cigar.
One off.
Hey, it's all right.
I'll take it.
4-3 our score advantage of Huntington. Gonna swing across and in. Abby Allen answers with an ace and gets it off the tip. And just like that, you got yourself a 4-4 game. And you can kind of see just a little bit of the miss pivot too. So Allen again, the Valparaiso native. Gets it across, finds Meyer. Another swing tip. That is going to be waiting for the ruling out. It was out. Just kind of grazed near the L in the Crossroads League logo. As Allen again on a little bit of a roll here. She did help the Redhawks kind of get back into it midway through the first before the Foresters eventually pulled away. So wouldn't be surprised if this is the rotation that is the strongest for IU Northwest. Here's another swing tip up front. This time It's Robrock just to say, shut it down. We don't want the tips, we want the full swing.
And that's her 6th kill of the night, leading the way for the Foresters. And I say the Foresters keep going to her because she has so far been the most successful Forester when it comes to attacking this blockade of Northwest.
It looks like a little bit of like a table tennis matchup, and then you just go for the commanding swing to finish it. But an ungenerous bounce, gonna end back up in the Huntington zone. And the Redhawks regain the lead, 6-5.
Those service errors have really cut, I mean, at the beginning of that first set, it really cut the momentum of the Foresters down every time they tried to build something. Now their 5th service error of the game.
And 2nd in this set, too. Swing across. This one blocked again. This time from Trinity Lindner. And again, for the Redhawks. That is their 6th total block of the afternoon.
It's been their most successful option of how to play this game, is just play through defense. I mean, they've won a lot of points off of those.
Everett gets it across. The sneak lift coming in from Ross. Still, they find a way to combat it. Now again, they go to Robrock. Got it to go.
Robrock, 7th kill of the night, leading the way. Foresters continue to go to her, and she keeps answering the call.
And the commanding swing up front to Preston. But you could see the frustration. She's saying, hey, whatever, we got this. 1-point lead advantage for the Redhawks. The Foresters, again, they went on a 7-0 run late in the first set. No better time than to go for one than right here, right now, as Preston just could not beat the ball. And we're even at 7. Let's take a look at that again one more time. You see her kind of debating to see if it was going to go down quick or not. Unfortunately, it did. Swing across. Tip now from the hands of Lilovich. Now another swing tip gets us over to Cruz. Can't get it to go, and again, we're starting to see that back row attack really shine for the Foresters.
Well, and every time that they've gone to that front line of Indiana Northwest, Indiana Northwest has answered and put it back over on the Forester side. So Haley Cruz smartly puts it at back line, like you said. And, I mean, Northwest has had no answer for it.
Kennedy Urban now swings this across. The other swing across from Kruger, but going to the corners and out of play. So 9-7 our score. And the Foresters now on a quick 4-0 run here in the second. They won the first 25-17. Generous bounce, still playable. High block tipped again. They go to Preston. Now again over to Murphy. Inside to Meyer. Block tipped and still got it to go. As Traven Terry able to force the double deflection off the Redhawks.
Yeah, that's a great play there. I mean, Northwest just not enough there. I mean, it was one versus one. Usually the attacker wins that.
Kennedy Urban now ready to bring it over. And Terry said, not today. She goes back to back up front. And a timeout called by the Redhawks. And just like that, the Foresters on a 6-0 run here in the second. Can they keep the momentum going? We'll be back in a moment. We're back as IU Northwest had a little bit of an early advantage in set number 2, but since then, 6 Huntington points in a row to make it an 11-7 game. Joe North and Ryan Holzapfel, delighted to have you with us. And a big part of that has been coming in from number 4 in Kennedy Urban here today, as Urban has led the charge in this rally. Can she continue to keep it going? She does not. as it goes into the net. But you got to think, though, getting a quick 6-0 rally really rejuvenates some momentum for the Foresters.
Yeah, and I mean, they had it going there, but those service errors are just killing them right now. They have got to stop getting those miss serves.
Swing up and in as Haley Cruz able to force the deflection off Littner. And the lead again back to 4. Well, taking a look again, comparison totals, Huntington absolutely crushing when it comes to kills, 23-7. The attack errors 12-9 for IU Northwest, and the advantage on that. But for service errors, again, number 7 on the board today for the Foresters. Haven't seen any from IU Northwest as of yet.
I mean, IU Northwest has played a pretty much perfect defensive and serve game. The question is, where's their offense come into play?
Absolutely, the attacks we haven't seen dominant, but the blocks certainly are so. Who else but Trinity Littner again up front? And the team jumping up in jubilation in the meantime. 2-point game. They go back to Kruger. Kruger again. Swung over for Holland. Now back on the opposite side. Everett leapt over. Gets over to Urban. Now another swing. Gets it off the tip and in.
Maggie Holland with a lot of power on those swings, and you see it right here. Just a little too much for that blockade to get to. And Maggie Holland gets the Foresters another point.
Ava Myers now ready to bring it across. 3-point lead and advantage of the Foresters. Swung on. Now another chance for Preston. This one sails out of play. So the 13th attack error on the board for the Redhawks. Now the Foresters back up by 4, 14-10. We'll look to see if we can get another prolonged rally, this time from the freshman and Ava Myers. They got to set it up for Murphy, and they do. Free chance upcoming for Holland. Holland with another swing on the board. And by our counts, that is indeed number 6 for kills today for her.
Yeah, she's 2 in a row there for the Foresters. They maybe need to keep feeding her right now. She's maybe building a little self-momentum here.
There's Myers. They were trying to go again for the tip up front. Instead, they go to Holland, back-to-back.
7th kill ties Mason Robrock for leading the way, and the Northwest needs a timeout because of it.
That they do. That they do. Huntington on a 4-0 run. They lead it by 6. Back in a moment.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean, efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Our score in advantage of your Huntington University Foresters. They won the first game 16-10, and taking a quick look while we have some time, Crossroads lead standings. Huntington's had a lot of success, but they've had to try to get past 2 other strong teams. Indiana Wesleyan 9-0, Mount Vernon Nazarene 7-2, but both teams, again, have been really kind of the Achilles heel for the Foresters.
Yeah, absolutely. Tied with Bethel 6-3, and despite this not being a conference game, they're going right back to conference play after this as a nice play there by Renaya.
Preston gets a great job to get it across in time. Some of the upcoming matchups, again, they will not be back here at Platt Arena until that big game coming up on the 15th against Mount Vernon. That's a 7 p.m. start time right here on FDN Sports. And then Senior Day against Taylor on the 18th. But before that, 2 games on the road against St. Francis and at Bethel over in Mishawaka. Another swing across, gets this one up and in, back to a 6-point game, 17-11. And who else again but Leah Carter helping to contribute up front.
She's been so good tonight, not only on the offensive end, but defensively right there. And you see the standings right there. You want to see it at home. Huntington in 3rd place right now, tied with Bethel.
But again, this can be a long season.
Yes,
this can
absolutely.
Here's a swing, gets this one up and over. Connects back over to Murphy. It's a tip off the tweeter. And they're going to rule it on the board for the Redhawks. A little bit of confusion between the up and the down official. Down official saw it bounce, the up did not. But now they're looking to debate to see maybe, or actually no debate, they just need to get it tied back on. Make sure it's regulation, you know. Here's Renaya Preston. Gets it over now to Cruz. Now another swing, gets this one lobbed over opposite side. Now another high tip. This one is out of play. So an attack error on the board for Huntington. As this one just going to the right of Carter.
I mean, you like the play there. I mean, you got it exactly where you wanted. Leah Carter was in the air before a blocker was even in sight. Just hit it out of play.
Ross again lobs this one over, but inside! As it just hugs the top left corner from our vantage point. Bottom right for you.
And she has been so good in this game.
Murphy tried to go for the run for it, but couldn't get it. Here's Olivia Cron now. Run, jump, light tip. Gonna reset in the back row. And again, tipped by Haley Cruz. So Cruz gets it back on the board and makes that her 6th kill of the afternoon. And it looks like she kind of doubted herself for a second. It's like, wait a second, was that in? Yes, yes it was. Here's Preston, gets this one lobbed out back row. Chance again upcoming. They set this back over again for Cruz. Now for the Redhawks. High tip, double up front, out of play. That one was not in for Cruz on the tip.
I mean, kudos to the Forcers for keeping that alive, but that Northwest attack just a little too much there on consecutive attacks for the Forcers to handle, and Northwest trying to mount a comeback to get into this deficit.
Well, they certainly have the server to make it happen in Abby Allen, who's been a pivotal part in some of the Northwest comebacks here in this one. Swing up, they get it back over to Ross. Now another chance, down tip it in for Robrock. Another push, gets it over to Kruger. Kruger again, lifts this one high, dunk, tipped. Gonna be enough, my goodness, Preston found a way. Can Cruz find a way? It is in.
Wow, what a...
Just barely.
That was an incredible volley there, and Cruz gets the literal back line of the Northwest side. I mean, it was a really close shot, but the Forcers thankful to get that point.
Chance now upcoming again for Layla Meyer, the Monroeville native. Meyer, low one to the back row. Chance again for Kruger, and gets this one inside. And a deflection. It's gonna be a deflection off for the Redhawks. Make it a 5-point game, 20-15 our score. Here's Everett. They get this one up the middle, down again to Cruz, and not gonna be enough for Preston. Would have been a quad hit, but again, the pivot off the hand of Murphy would have been too much of a rush. And sometimes there are hustle plays that you should chase. There are some you don't want to hurt yourself in the meantime.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was a smart play by Northwestern. Just, you know, not taking the chance of getting hurt there. I mean, that was just an excellent kill there by Cruz.
Kruger now gets this one over, sets over for Preston. Swung on from Kruger again. Well, the Foresters, what can they do? They go to Cruz. Kruger gets it outside and swings just barely outside. But again, you have to appreciate the talents of what we've seen from Lindsay Kruger this afternoon. and just her ability just to command the swings up front. Here's Urban. Dunked and in.
Wow.
And you also have to appreciate the swings from Haley Cruz in the meantime.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything any volleyball team could do about that one. I mean, Haley Cruz with a lot of power, and there is no way Northwest was going to defend that shot.
So what we've seen from the blocks up front for Northwest, Huntington has strongly combated that with commanding swings of their own. And able to also read the top of the lines, too, to force those deflections out of play. And it's game point for a chance to go up 2-0 in the match. Here's Kennedy Urban. Urban again. Lobs this one. Down low again. Swung on from Cruz. And she cruises to kill number 10 today. They make it 25-15. And just like that, the Foresters going up 2-0 here in the second of 2 games here at Platte Arena. We'll step aside, get you ready for the third in a moment. This is FDN Sports exclusive coverage of Huntington Forester Volleyball.
To me, Forester Camp is fellowship.
To me, Forester Camp is like engaging.
To me, Forester Camp was inspiring.
I hoped that I would be able to make more friends who have not really been around much.
How I describe this camp is pretty chill and like fun.
And it's fun too. It's something that like people can be engaged in and have a great time, but also still learn life lessons and lessons about the Bible, kind of see the world from a different perspective.
Fun every single day, and you meet a lot of new people. It's pretty judgment-free because everyone's all in the same boat.
You don't really have anything to lose by coming to the camp. I think a lot of people are scared to take that risk. I could promise you that you wouldn't be bored or not have a good time here.
Something only happens one time in the universe. It never happens exactly the same. So like, you better take your opportunity while you can.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Huntington leading the match 2-0. They won the first 25-17, 25-15 as they head into the third. As a reminder, we're back on the air tomorrow for women's soccer as Indiana Wesleyan comes to town to take on your Huntington Foresters over at King Stadium. That'll be a 5 p.m. start time right here on FDN Sports. Joe Northern, Ryan Holzapfel again. It's been a lot of defense going really well for IU Northwest. But Huntington has just done a great job of just commanding the swings up front and create those offensive chances that you haven't really seen the Redhawks counter too much this afternoon.
Yeah, and really the advantage for the Foresters hasn't been on defense so much as just offense. As like you said, Northwest defense has been very good, and the Foresters have given them a lot of free points off of those service aces. The problem for IU Northwest is they have no offense right now. And defense is great, but you have to have offense to win in volleyball. And their offense is just not working because the Foresters are matching their defense with the great defense of their own. And that's why the Foresters are dominating so far.
Absolutely. Again, you take a look at current kill leaders right now. Robrach, she's got 8. Haley Cruz currently leading the way. She's got 10. Maggie Holland with 7. So again, not too many surprises that obviously those three are leading the up front attack, but we've seen Leah Carter and Traven Terry make some noise here for the Foresters this afternoon. We're back underway as this one tipped over in time for Carter. They're going to try to reset it again for Robrock. Another block and got it. As Trinity Lentner able to answer the call rather quickly. And the Redhawks strike first here in the third.
And there it is again, the defense for this Red Hawk team. It's been so good, but where does the offense come from? Can they score once they get possession of the ball?
Chance again upcoming. They go for the sneak lift for Ross. And we haven't seen too much of that today, however, the quick sneak lifts. But they can certainly really benefit you if you know you've got that open real estate on the front line.
Well, and Lauren Ross is one of the few people on this team that does that move. I mean, usually you don't see that too often from most other players on the Forester squad.
Chance again upcoming. This one swung on and out of play. So a side out gonna go against Keelan Murphy. Make it 2-1 advantage of Huntington. Here's number 5 and Olivia Cron. Cron. Wow. And just misplacement from Everett. Now another chance up front. This one goes to Carter, gets it down and in. And you can kind of see there was a little bit of a shuffle once it was brought over and thinking like, oh no, where do we go from here? And again, just the back row attacks have certainly made the difference.
Yeah, they're absolutely killing Northwest, and as good as their defense has been, their back line defense has not been there.
Chance again upcoming. They go for the tip for Meyer. And Cruz again for the attack. Set it up front line. A reach over from Carter. No call, they say play on. Another tip from Carter. And got it to go. And who else but number 23 in Keelan Murphy as she answers in the points. And Murphy getting her second kill of the afternoon.
Her third kill, actually.
Yes, her third.
And she ties Lilovic for leading killer, which just shows they really have not had many successful attacks in the game. I mean, their two highest have 3 kills each.
3-2 the score. Advantage of the Foresters. Can they keep it going here? Another block tip, but out of play. So again, really the game, I feel like has just continued to be won not only with the back row attacks, but again, really utilizing those front lines, but at the left or the right to try to force those swings out of play. And can we continue to see that from the hands of Layla Meyer? Here's Meyer. A generous bounce up and in. And sometimes you appreciate those serves when they come.
I mean, especially when you've had so many service errors in this game, you know, to see one hit the net and actually fall over to the other side, maybe a nice sign for the Foresters not getting their 8th service error of the game.
5-2 our score, advantage of Huntington. They won the first 25-17, the second 25-15 in case you're just joining us, and are now back on another run, a 3-0 run to make it 6-2. That's the second net violation going to go on the board in this set for the Redhawks. We'll see if Layla Meyer can continue the run going. She gets this one back row and 2 aces on the rally for her. One of which a big tip, the other a big swing to the back row. And IU Northwest is going to stop to think it over. We'll step aside as well. 7-2 Foresters trying to go for the sweep. Back in a moment.
Did anyone lose 50 $100 bills wrapped in a red rubber band? We found your red rubber band.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Biffa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Seven to 2 our score in advantage of the Foresters, and they're currently riding a 3-0 rally at the moment, or 4-0 rally I should say. And still all coming from the hands of Layla Meyer as this one tipped and back on the board to make it 8 to 2.
Looks like Haley Cruz got a finger on it, and they'll give her the kill because of it.
And you can kind of see that they were debating to say, wait, that was out, but it tip kind of going off on, it looked like the shoulder of Urban maybe. How about the third ace on the rally for number 11 and Layla Myers?
She leads the Foresters on the season with service aces and showing it off right now with the placement. I mean, she is getting it exactly where she wants to go on these serves.
So again, just the scoring continued to mount up even more for this Huntington team. They're on at least a 7-0 run, not a 6-0 run here in the first. In the third, we should say. High swing down, and is it out? It is out, but they may look to review it. Yep, and it is going to indeed be a challenge from Kelsey Herbert.
Yeah, that's a really close call there, and we'll have to challenge it.
So they will challenge it as we will step aside. Back in a moment.
Alrighty, what we got?
Well, again, the point is actually going to go back to Huntington as they did rule it inside the box off the tip. So the challenge for Coach Kelsey Herbert does work. And again, you can see it's awfully close. Awfully close. And again, the angle that we have from it, you know, inconclusive, I feel like, but it definitely did kind of graze on top of it.
Well, I mean, we saw from one of the other angles on the replay was it literally hit the outermost paint part of the gray line on the northwest side. So it was very close, but if it hits the line, it's good.
Well, that'll stop the rally one way or another, no doubt about that. But not before point after point after point for the Foresters. And just like that, the rally is over, but not before just continuous scoring. In fact, they went on officially, we can't say, on a 7-0 run. Here's a swing across now from Robrock, and that's going to go out of play. So 10-4 our score in advantage of IU Northwest. As the Redhawks just continuing to try to find a way back here in this one. This one dunked down and got it. And another swing again from Bailey Obrowski, who we're starting to see shine a little bit more late here in the third, but again, the first set, she was absolutely dynamite for this Red Hawk team.
Yeah, especially on defense, and I think that's really her first offensive attack of the game, which nice to see a balance of both.
Here's another block again up front. They go back to Cruz. Cruz sails it over to the back row. Now they go back again to Lilovich. Another tip, this one off the tweeter, but on the board for IU Northwest. It looks like a little inconclusion from the upper official, but no doubt about it.
Yeah, yeah, clearly hits it, clearly.
As they'll make the adjustment on the tweeter, but don't look now. IU Northwest on a quick 3-0 run.
4-0 run. It was 10-2 before the start of this run that they're going on.
4-0 run now, advantage of IU Northwest. Can they keep it alive? This one lopped back over to Obrovsky. High tip over, still saved by Preston. Now another swing across coming from the hands of Allen. Now tipped down and in. As Lauren Ross answers it right back to make it 11-6, advantage Foresters.
That's what she does. I mean, she is so good. I mean, you won't see her attack it with any chance of a kill shot there, but she loves those little tip overs. They're nice and tricky, hard to guard if you're the opposing team, and Northwest not able to guard it.
Urban sails it and gets it over to Cruz to answer it right back, and lucky number 12 on the board for the graduate outside hitter from Auburn. Here's Kennedy Urban again. Urban, ace.
That's her second of the game. So Layla Meyer with 4 service aces and Kennedy Urban with 2.
And Alondra Avalos gonna stop to think it over again once more. Huntington a little over halfway home, and they lead it 2-0, 13-6 here in the third. Back in a moment. Real craft ready when you are, and a proud partner of FDN Sports, new to the FDN Sports family. So thank you and welcome aboard to Forester Country. And certainly the Foresters have been ready here in this third set, have just not only gone on the long, really 8-point run, thanks to the serving hands of Abby Allen, but a lot of strong attacks up front to really shut down this Red Hawk front line.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're continuing to do what I said at the beginning of the game, which is just keep your foot on the gas. And I mean, that is if there is one thing you can point to in this game for the Foresters of something they are not doing well, it is serving the ball. That is ridiculous how many errors they have in this game.
As it stands right now, you were looking at 9 service errors on the board for Huntington. This one swung across now from the hands of Boyer. Sets back over to Preston. Now again to Meyer. Meyer again sets this one over to Cruz. Block, tipped, but out of play. I'll give the credit for Cruz, but sails out of play off the hands of Preston in the meantime. So the lead back to 7. The Foresters doubling up on IU Northwest. And they'll keep it in the hands of Haley Cruz. Swung on into the net. So the service errors have not been kind for Huntington today. That is their 10th. IU Northwest, not to see one as of yet.
Well, and you know, for the Foresters, you'd wonder what the score would have been in those first 2 sets if they didn't give so many free points to Northwest on these service errors.
You might have seen maybe, you know, just a few point difference in those set wins. That one off the tweeter and on the board, and we've seen the attack errors and those antenna errors not be terribly kind as well. So we take a look at that again one more time.
The little things the Foresters are struggling with right now in this one.
Here's Lindsey Kruger now to bring it across. Kruger sails it out of play. So that is the first service error for IU Northwest today.
Well, I'm sure they'll take 1 service error compared to 10. I'm sure their coach is happy that it just came in near the halfway point in the third set.
Here's Ava Myers, gets this one across. Chance again, swung on into the net. As Keelan Murphy could not get it to go. And it's a 7-point game, 16-9 here in the third. As again, we see Ava Myers, one of the strong servers for Coach Herber and company. Chance again from Preston. Lobbed back over to Cruz. Lifted over down from Urban. Block tipped and got it. A great teamwork effort And great placement for Leah Carter. As we take a look at that again once more. Great dive, however, from Everett. But Carter just too fast, too quick.
Yeah, she was there, and she clearly had the advantage. She was kind of looking over her there. There was no chance.
Another chance again up front. Lifted high, back row. They're going to have to sail, and it's good! It's good! In the bucket! No points! A great one for Huntington, but nonetheless, they make it from 3. By the way, points out of play, Huntington point, but
you don't see that too often. Holy.
That's how we need to end the broadcast today. Just that highlight on a loop. Swing
Wow.
up and in now in the meantime from Keelan Murphy as we catch our breath for just a moment.
The whole arena erupted. I mean, I through my 3.5 years here now, I haven't seen that happen once.
I can't tell you how long I've done volleyball. I'm not going to the folks at home, but that's something you don't see often.
Yeah.
Here's a swing up front, tipped down over from Boyer. And that's answered back now by Keelan Murphy. Maybe that's the momentum swing that IU Northwest needed.
Yeah.
As they're now on a 2-0 run to make it 18-11. Here's Gutierrez. Swung on, block tipped and in. And now a 3-point run, an advantage of the Red Hawks, 18-12. As again, we're starting to see a little bit of offensive momentum come up front. But again, comparing the lines right now, I mean, again, you have strong attackers versus some strong attackers up front, more so strong setters of what we've noticed.
Yeah.
Holland, however, gets this one over in time, the Warsaw native. And now we will see again some of those strong attackers returning in Robrock and Ross. Make it a 7-point game, 19-12. Here's Lauren Ross now to bring it across. Sailed over to Preston, gets it over the tip and in time. And you have to think fatigue could be a little bit of a factor here late here in the third. Again, you play constant games all day long for the most part, as you're hitting about hour 4 now.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the Foresters can do to try to shut this one down. Nice swing up front, gets it to go. That's off the hands of Mason Robrock. Make it a 7-point game. Take a look at that again once more.
She's been so good attacking. I mean, obviously Haley Cruz leading the way as she's had a lot of the momentum plays for them, but Mason Robrock, she's been consistently great in this match.
Olivia Cron brought it across, but sails it out of play. And the swing gonna come out of play from Lindsay Kruger. So an 8-point game. As you can see, Kruger was looking for it, but could not get it. And substitution coming in from Avon Belding. So we can kind of overhear Coach Herber saying, let's finish it, let's finish it. 21-13 our score is Leah Carter headed into the bench, and great afternoon she's had thus far. Swung on opportunity again for IU Northwest. Tipped back over for Meyer. Into the net it goes, and we play on. So 21-14, and again, kind of the late game situations. You may see some names that you don't see often here on the court. You know, just trying to get some of those early extra reps when you can, and you know, these are the great times to do it.
Yeah, and Avon Belding getting a chance to suit up on the court for the Foresters and try to be a part of these next 4 points if they try to win the set.
Here's a free ball serve over now from Meyer. But they're not going to get it as Eva Everett takes a little slip down on the back corner. Make it an 8-point affair, 22-14. They get it back over to Layla Meyer. As her down official just making sure that Eva Everett's okay, and she says she's good. And again, who else better to close it out potentially than Layla Meyer, part of that 8-0 run to start here in the third. Into the net that goes off the hands of Linter. 9-point game, 23-14. Here comes Meyer again on the backside. Meyer sails this one across. Gets back over to Preston. Into the net on the board. And you got yourself a match point right here. 24-14. And so the Foresters trying to go for 2 straight 3-0 sweeps and extend the winning streak to 6. Swung on again from Meyer. Now low tip, saved to the back row. Chance again for Robrock. Now tipped over from Cron. Preston looks to hop this over, out of play, and that's how this one comes to a close. So 25-14 in the final, and again for the Foresters, just kind of a textbook effort today as they found the early momentum swings, really didn't let go of those momentum swings moving forward, and again, giving you at least a nice momentum boost going into more of conference play.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really saw the game was close up until that, like in most of the third set, the Foresters kind of took off early. But in those first 2 sets, Northwest was hanging around for the most part throughout the first 10 points. But once HU got on a big run in all 3 sets, once they got on their big run of the set, it was over from there on the set.
Absolutely. I think, one of the things I look at is our player of the game. First off, I got to give it to Haley Cruz. 13 kills on 29 total attacks today. And 1 solo block on the board. But also to Maggie Holland, doing a great job today, but also just kind of making herself work around the court to make things happen for the Foresters today.
Yeah, she was one of those underlying factors of why they won this game. Obviously, Haley Cruz, Layla Meyer with the service, with the 4 service aces, but Maggie Holland was a big part in why they won this game.
Absolutely, absolutely. As we go ahead and bring in the coach in Kelsey Herber. All right, so Coach, this is one of those matchups that you kind of see on the board saying, all right, what do we need to do to strike first in the momentum? Of course, playing back-to-back 30 minutes, you think fatigue could be an issue?
Yeah.
Certainly fatigue was not a factor today for your squad.
It always could be in that scenario where it's back-to-back matches. However, I told the girls, you have a weekend of rest coming.
Yes.
We don't play tomorrow. You'll get Sunday off. I said, however, that's not yet. Yeah, I need you to squeeze out every last ounce of energy you have, pour it into this match, into this set, and trust that this one match is a part of our long-term process.
Absolutely, and you look again right now, winning streak extended to 6. You've won more, this program's won more games this season than they have since 2010. What's been really special about the squad so far as we enter kind of about the halfway mark?
Yes, a couple of fundamental pieces I would say is we have decided we want to be known for our relentless defense. And so what our blockers have done in the front line and our backcourt has done from a digging perspective, I think has taken us to that next level. But also the fact that we're running this 6-2. We have 3 offensive options at all points in time. And we have girls who want the ball in their hand when the game's on the line and can be effective. It makes it so hard for a team to defend us. But from an intangible standpoint, these girls are so competitive and they're driven and they know exactly what our goals are and are determined to get there and put in the work that it takes to do so.
Absolutely. You look ahead into next week, 2 key conference matches before 2 even more key matches coming up at home on the 15th. Really, they got the weekend to rest. What are you looking forward to next week?
Yes, I'm looking forward to starting off the second round of conference on a high note. You could argue that this second round of conference play is the most important part of the season. And so there's teams we took care of that we got to go find a way to take care of them again and continue to grow. But also those teams we didn't get round 1, this group's determined to go get them round 2.
Coach, I enjoyed it. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That is the coach in Kelsey Herber as the Foresters win it in 3 straight, both times today. 1 over Olivet Nazarene, 1 over IU Northwest. Reminder, girls soccer tomorrow night against Indiana Wesleyan. We go on the air just before 5 p.m. right here on FDN Sports. And then volleyball will be right back here at Platt Arena on the 15th as they have a big one against Mount Vernon Nazarene. For all of us here at FDN Sports, thank you for joining us this afternoon in what has been certainly a fun one here at the Forester Quad. For my partner Ryan Holzapfel and all the crew here at FDN Sports, Joe Northern saying so long from Platt Arena, where the Foresters go 3-0 twice in a row, at least for today. We'll see you tomorrow for soccer.